Defense witness Rosman Abdullah confirmed today that Najib Razak was indeed Jho Low's boss. When 27 million ringgit was transferred from Permai Binaraya into Najib's 880 AmBank account, the witness was to let Jho know when it was done, so that the businessman could inform his boss. By the Malaysian Insight, this is The People versus Najib Razak. Follow us into the courtroom where it all happens. I'm Patrick Teo. Wearing a light brown suit paired with a darker tie, Najib was looking a lot less cheerful than he was a few days ago. At 10 a.m. sharp, he took his seat in the accused dock as Judge Naslan entered the courtroom. The defence's seventh witness, Rosman Abdullah, was back on the stand. He is the Group Managing Director of Putrajaya Perdana Berhad, or PPB. He had told the court yesterday that 37 million ringgit from Putra Perdana Construction, or PPC, a PPB subsidiary, had made its way into Najib's private AmBank accounts. According to the witness, the transfers were done on Jho Low's instructions. When the defense team said they had additional questions for Rosman, the witness warily answered that he would do his best, but some of his answers may incriminate him. Judge Naslan assured him that it would not happen unless there was false evidence. Rosman recalls a message he received from Jho Low about a 35 million ringgit transfer into PPC's account. It was the first tranche of the 170 million ringgit Rosman believed to be an advance on a PPC contract Jho was negotiating. According to the witness, Jho had clearly said the money was from SRC. At the time in 2014, he said he didn't know much about SRC. He only found out it was a government company via news reports later. Now, with 2020 hindsight, Rosman said the name SRC itself is toxic and anything associated with it is a crime. The witness also said there was an agreement between PPC and SRC over the 170 million ringgit, but he now believes it was an act to hide the money trail. Then it was Prosecutor V. Sitambaram's turn to cross-examine the witness. He asked about Rosman's friendship with Azlin alias, Najib's private secretary, who had passed away in a helicopter crash in 2015. The witness confirmed that he knew Azlin. They went to the same school, and Rosman took care of his children's education following his passing. It was Azlin who connected Rosman and Jho in 2011. Rosman was planning to start his own business and asked his friend if he knew of any opportunities. Azlin introduced Rosman to Jho at a London hotel later that year. That was how Rosman came to buy PPB from UBG, the Jho Low-linked company. Sitambaram goes through the transactions concerning the 170 million ringgit. Yesterday, we said that money had flowed to Najib's 880 and 1MY accounts. They were, in fact, the same account. The former PM's AmBank accounts were given code names, and his 880 account was codenamed 1MY. The witness had also confirmed that 27 million ringgit was transferred out of Permai into the 880 account. Permai Binaraya is a subsidiary of PPC. Rosman was supposed to inform Jho once this transaction was done so that the businessman could inform his boss. When Jho Low mentioned boss at the time, did you know whether boss referred to Najib? Sitam asked. Yes, Rosman replied. You knew from previous communications with Jho Low that Dato Sri Najib was referred to as his boss? Yes, Rosman said again. AmBank's relationship manager, Joanna Yu, in her testimony, had said the same as well. Based on BlackBerry transcripts of her conversations with Jho, the boss was in reference to Najib. Rosman was re-examined by Harvinderjit or Harvey. The lawyer questioned Rosman as to whether Azlin ever told him that Najib needed money, to which Rosman replied, no. The witness confirmed that Azlin had no further dealings with the PPB group and Jho Low and was let go. Proceedings took a short break before a new witness was called in. Up next was Nasharuddin Amir, the MACC's chief investigating officer for 1MDB in 2015 before he was replaced after the 14th general election. He was the main focus in court last week when he refused any interviews by lawyers before testifying. Lead defense counsel Shafi Abdullah took charge of his questioning. He asked Nasharuddin why he didn't attend the defense's pre-testimony interview on February 15. He was unwell. When the defense requested again to interview him, Nasharuddin declined. Nasharuddin defended himself by saying that he doesn't want to be interviewed because he was not involved in SRC investigations. The only reason he showed up at all was because he was subpoenaed by the defense team. Shafi then proceeded to show the witness 4 supposed Arab donation letters. Nasharuddin told the court that he was in charge of looking into these letters to verify if they were authentic and if they actually came from one Saud Abdul Aziz. In late 2015, Nasharuddin and 3 other MACC officers left for Riyadh to meet this person. When he was questioned by Shafi about the identity of Saud, Nasharuddin told him that he was a VIP and royalty based on his name. He said he met Saud at a big house, like a palace. But Nasharuddin said he was not sure if the person he met was Saud or someone else. The witness also told the court that the MACC had gotten a statement from one Abdullah al-Koman. He said Abdullah was introduced as the prince's representative. Court soon broke for lunch. When proceedings resumed, Sitam began his cross-examination of the witness. Nasharuddin told the prosecutor his purpose of going to Saudi was in relation to $681 million in 1MDB money, which ended up in Najib's private accounts. With that, Sitam finished up his questioning. The defense team plans to call Najib's former private secretary, Shukri Abdullah, and MACC Chief Commissioner, Latifa Koya, next. The podcast will return next week. This podcast is produced, written, and mixed by Revati Subramaniam, Yap Pik Kwan, and Amina Farid. I'm Patrick Teo.